Well, welcome to a new Team CGC 9.8 video, and I got in some comics today, and I kind of pre-unboxed this one, so hopefully it goes a bit quicker. But I got two CGC 9.8 books, two Batman CGC 9.8 books, and yeah, these books are really interesting. You are you're going to be probably really surprised by these books, and one of them is really rare on the CGC census. Well, and the other one, both of them are really cool covers actually too. Kind of right up my alley as normal, kind of 80s and 90s books. Batman books, both are Batman titled books as well, so not Detective Comics, not anything else, actual Batman titled books. Really interesting on the census though, because as you know me, I'm checking out the CGC census. Whenever there's kind of a rare book with like a first appearance or something like that, that interests me. And I think in the 90s, I always usually recommend checking out 90s books because for that reason, they're late 90s especially, sorry, not early 90s, late 90s books are less printed. And on the CGC census, sometimes they're really, really rare. And I think I've recommended like even Batman books specifically are quite rare too, comparatively to Amazing Spider-Man books of this era. And yeah, you'll see on this one on the CGC census. I don't even know if I'm going to put the names in the titles. I'm kind of doing it as like a mystery reveal, so who knows, I might even have the names in the titles, but these books are so cool. And so rare. Well, one of them's kind of rare. A little bit older, early 90s, but the other one is just really like out there and kind of an underappreciated book that I didn't really see or hear about much until I had saw the listing. So, just be pretty careful getting these out here. You always want to kind of take your time opening these just to make sure you don't damage anything, even though it's kind of not much going on at the beginning of the video. Alright, here's one. Okay, kept it out of the package here. That's weird. Okay, yeah, that's looking good though. Got these weird CGC cases with that one for some reason. This one looks to have a bit more of a conventional one. Okay, which one should I show you first? They all got like a lot of cardboard dust on them, so they might not be looking 100% here. But again, okay, these are 90s Batman books in the CGC 9.8. Yeah, let's do this one too. Super rare on the census. We'll check this one out. First time I'm kind of seeing it. Yeah, and it's got a lot of like stuff up here, but it's a Batman 550. And yeah, I'll have to get a microfiber out and clean this one up a bit. Okay, so in an old case here, Batman 550. Sorry, I'll get it up there so it's not. Yeah, it's really dusty with cardboard crap on it, so I'll have to wipe these off. But there are, believe it or not, only two of these on the CGC census. And this seller had the two. And honestly, I was really tempted to buy the other one as well. So Batman 550, this is first Clay Thing and first Cameron Chase. And Cameron Chase I don't know too much about, but she is on the Supergirl TV series. And first Clay Thing here is almost somewhat considered first modern Clayface. And you get a really cool cover and one of two on the CGC census. There's only 5 of these graded overall on the CGC census. So 2 of them are CGC 9.8s, and this seller had both of them. Was 2 CGC 9.8s, both in the old case. Yeah, this old case if you notice here. Still, yeah, just let me take a look at it, because first time seeing it. And yeah, being like a 1998 book, this is really like when they really, I think, started cutting down on the prints and comics weren't selling very good anymore. Yeah, it's a really solid book for sure, as you'd expect from a 9.8. Yeah, really dusty though the case. I definitely gotta This is one of the more kind of dusty, kind of cardboard crap on the case that comes from packaging and all that stuff. So I'll have to really... Yeah, so Doug Mensch story, first appearance of Clay Thing and Cameron Chase. And, yeah, so there's these are the $3.50 editions, because this is I believe this is like a giant size. Oh, no, there's bonus collectible trading cards in it. So I think there is like another edition that is not the $3.50 edition, but I don't believe those are even on the census. I don't think there's one on the census at all, because I believe they would distinguish the difference between those. But yeah, basically the first appearance of modern Clay Thing, and there's only 2 on the census. And oh yeah, like talking about prices, so I paid $100 for each of these books. So $100 for this one. But I mean, to have 2 on the census, you get 2 first appearances. Like, who knows what could ever happen with Cameron Chase. So I think that was a really good buy. And, if this popped up on an auction, I'm sure you could get it for like $70 or $60 or something like that. But, I mean, there's only 2 in the world, and that one seller had them, so they're obviously not going to pop up on an auction. So I think $100 is kind of a little bit expensive maybe for like a mid-90s book. That's not really a key, but in a sense I think this has a lot of future potential to become a key even more, with being the first Clay Thing, pretty much is known as first modern Clayface. And Cameron Chase, who knows, like with movies and how female characters are being really pushed. Okay, so we got second book here. We got some... Yes, this is again, they're really dirty, these cases, so I'm gonna should do a thing with once I clean them up, I'll do a full like Batman video. But this is a Batman 475. This is the first Renee Montoya, so Gotham City detective. I did a little research, kind of, before buying this book, just to know a little bit more about her, and they have already cast her in the upcoming Birds of Prey movie, so she's going to be in the Birds of Prey movie. She was in Gotham as well. So a really cool Scarface cover too, Scarface and Ventriloquist cover, and I had purchased the first appearance of Scarface and Ventriloquist in Detective Comics, and Detective 583, I had that in the CGC 9.8, so this is kind of a good companion book to that. Still get a first appearance for Renee Montoya, really cool Scarface cover, I think. Yeah, this is probably one of the coolest covers from the era. This sort of early 90s era, which to me, probably, Batman comics it's not the best era. I prefer the 80s more. I don't know, like the late 400s and the Batmans usually aren't some of my favorite books, but really cool cover, I think, for the era. And looking on the CGC census, there's only 100 of these, so a little more popular. She was in the Gotham TV series as well, Renee Montoya. So this issue is certainly a little more popular than this one. 100 in CGC 9.8. Looked on the census this morning. It's right at 100 in the blue label. Yeah, 55% of all graded copies are CGC 9.8. So yeah, most of the time people are sending in really high grade stuff to CGC from this book. And this book I could imagine sitting in boxes for quite a long time, and even at comic stores not really being purchased and staying in really good shape. So yeah, and this one was $100 as well. I paid $100 for each of these from the same seller too. So I was just kind of searching Batman CGC 9.8 basically, and because yeah, I mean Batman books are probably my favorite, I would say. Like, I really like Amazing Spider-Man books, but I sort of just gravitate to Batman a lot because I think there's like a lot more first appearances that are like lesser known, lesser on the CGC census, less money too, and I just really like Batman. So it makes sense for me to just kind of expand my Batman collection. But two really cool covers, I think. Kind of really interesting and like underappreciated books too. Not your typical like Batman first appearance books. So I think what I'm gonna do, I'll probably clean these up, because yeah, these are probably some of the worst like cardboard dust on the comics that I've seen in some of these packages. Clean these up and do maybe like a top 5 obscure Batman first appearances, because by now I have like 5 or 6 like just sort of lesser known Batman first appearances, and I can think of a couple more that I actually want to. So that'll probably be an upcoming video soon. But If you haven't already, please join the team here and subscribe to Team CGC. When you subscribe, the bell will show up. If you hit the bell, you'll get all the latest notifications for new videos and stuff. Because I'm actively buying CGC 9.8 comics. I make videos like recommending top picks. Every Sunday we do our pricing video where you can stay on top of the prices, because that's one of the main things I say, is just stay on top of these CGC 9.8 prices so you know the right price to pay, so then you don't overpay. Because that's one of the big things at CGC 9.8 books. You could conceivably overpay quite a lot if you just go on eBay and buy the first book you see, kind of thing. But yeah, these Batman books, really cool first appearances for $100. I'm pretty excited. They're $200 altogether. The seller was in Canada too, so didn't have to like worry about any border mishaps or anything like that, me being in Canada. And 90s books are kind of right up my alley for like being in my price range, plus you can get cool first appearances, and yeah, 2 on the CGC census. Like, I almost can't believe it. 2 of these, and yeah, super pumped to have it. Because yeah, whenever you can get such a limited book and with first appearances, and again, 90s, like this is a 1998 book. 97, 98, 99, 2000. Those are some years there where not a lot of people were collecting, and yeah, I think there's like some opportunity there to like maybe buy now, and then once these books start to get old, which in a sense they almost are now, being 20 years old essentially, a lot of these books, you know, once that hits 30 to 40 years old, they're going to pretty much be old, and if there's only, you know, for this book specifically, you know, a couple on the CGC census, I could see it being worth a lot more than $100. So yeah, subscribe to the channel if you could. That would be so appreciated. But yeah, thanks for watching this unbox video, and we'll see you on the next one.